Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the United Kitchens. And we're so happy that you are joining us on here in the United States, what will be a big holiday weekend as we celebrate the 4th of July and thank all of those who serve our country and who have served our country. Let's see what Chef Ricki Mckenna is whipping up for today.
And literally, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. We are definitely whipping up today. Let me just do something here because we've got too many things on my screen. Good morning, everybody. I am Ricki Mckenna, and welcome to my kitchen. And today we will be definitely whisking up something absolutely delicious. It's called zucchini pancakes. And to go with the zucchini pancakes, we have two beautiful little strips of salmon, fresh salmon, and we're going to make those with lemon and decorate it with an avocado. And so we're going to have a wonderful savory plate, excuse me, of the salmon with the zucchini pancakes and a wee bit of avocado for lunch today.
That sounds delicious. I absolutely love salmon. It's my favorite. I could eat it every single day. And by the way, Chef Simon McDonald says to say hello to you, and hopefully he'll be coming back to visit us soon. So Chef, I'm going to turn the show over to you, and I will be backstage producing. Have a great one.
Thank you very much. And again, everybody, welcome to Ricki's Kitchen and to USA Global TV's The United Kitchens. And Chef Simon McDonald, the person she just spoke of, when we started the United Kitchens, Simon was cooking in Scotland, which is where he lives, and I've been cooking here in Houston, in Texas, in the USA, so we united the kitchens. And Simon's got years and years of experience, and so have I, starting out over 23 years ago as a nutritionist, certified nutritionist, and working with every kind of person imaginable, from itty-bitty little kids in grade school through corporations and CEOs, C-level people, teaching how food is the thing that really affects who you are, what food does for you when you eat. For digestion, you eat for a purpose, you eat to please your palate, which is really important. But also consider that you're eating to fuel your system, your body and your brain. And it also, there's of course an emotional content, as far as something like who doesn't like chocolate. And we can do lots of different things with chocolate. Actually, the other day I was given a gift which was delightful in a Chinese restaurant. And I'd never seen this. I'll have to show them to you. Chocolate fortune cookies. Can you imagine? So anyway, the world of food is just wide and ranges all over the world from lots of different things. So this morning what we're going to do, or this afternoon, where are you? We're going to take our zucchini. I've got a little over, it's about 1/4 pound of zucchini, and we're going to grate it. Because the zucchini pancakes are something I just discovered, and I've also discovered that grating it using a hand grater is much more fun than putting it in a Cuisinart or some kind of food processor. So I'm going to take my zucchini and we will grate it on the large holes of a grater. So this doesn't take very long because it goes pretty quickly when you do it on the large part. And we're going to have a bowl full of zucchini. And we will take the zucchini and combine it with some red onion, which we'll slice up in a few minutes. And actually, I think I might even grate that. Yum, 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 yum. How do we do that? Yeah, we'll grate that too. So we have grated onion and grated zucchini. And before I put my grated onion in, one of the things I will do, and this is kind of it's crucial to a point. You can make the zucchini pancakes without doing this, but it's important to take much of the moisture, some of the extra moisture from the zucchini out of the grated zucchini before we make the batter. And so here we go. We're almost there. And please be careful not to grate any part of your fingers into the dish, because that really doesn't make it taste any better and tends to hurt. So if you're joining us for the first time, you might want to know that sometimes I'm a bit irreverent about certain things, but usually not about cutting one's fingers or adding them to a recipe. We don't usually like finger pie or even finger pancakes. So our zucchini pancakes have a bowl full of nice fresh zucchini. As I said, it's about a 5-ounce zucchini, so it's a little bit over 1/4 pound. And we're going to take that, and I have some paper towels here, and I'm going to squeeze it and get the moisture out of it. I'm going to put them in the paper towel, and most of them, take them out of my bowl, and then just squeeze. So we get the moisture out. And the paper towel is absorbing quite a bit of moisture. I'll show you in a minute. We're just going to squeeze those wonderfully grated pieces in the towel and then put them back in the dish or in our bowl so we can mix things together. There we go. And you can see it's absorbed quite a bit of moisture. So what happens if you leave the moisture in is that you just have to add a little bit more flour to the mix. And today I'm using almond flour. I've made them before with the almond flour, and they're absolutely delicious. So we have our grated zucchini with a little bit of the moisture squeezed out. And I'm going to take another bowl here because I think I want to mix them all up in there. And I'm going to slice my onion, and it calls for about 2 tablespoons of grated onion. So what I'm going to do is just cut off a piece that's going to be a little more than 2 tablespoons, but we can always use some grated onion, and carefully peel it so we get down to the good part of the onion. And I find lately that when I'm getting some onions, I often have to peel down quite a bit, so choose your onions, choose your produce very carefully. When you're looking in the grocery stores, and I know today there's possibly some problems with supply chain and so forth, but just be very careful when you choose your produce. Take your time and even smell it if you can, if you're not wearing a mask, or take the mask off and give it a sniff. And make sure that it is actually fresh, because very often when something sits in a truck or on a ship or even in the back of the grocery store, you can lose some of the freshness of it. So get the things that smell as fresh as possible. I think we've almost got 2 teaspoons here. Let's see. Actually, we want them a little bit more, 2 tablespoons. So my onion's grating beautifully, and I'm keeping my eyes away from it because they're super sensitive to onion. And oh my, yep. We're going to have just the most yummy batch of zucchini pancakes possible. And the fun part with the zucchini pancakes is you can use them, you can eat them as the main part of a meal, or you can use them as a side, which is what we're going to do today, because we're going to fix some, as I said earlier, we're going to fix some salmon fillets. His hands a little wash. As Simon would say, messy paws. We don't want messy paws in the cooking. And I'm going to take my teaspoon actually and mix the zucchini and the onion together. Here we go. And make sure that an onion gets spread out throughout the zucchini. Okay, it's getting pretty already. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to take, in the bigger bowl, I'm going to take my almond flour, and we'll do about, to start, let's say 6 to 8 heaping tablespoons of almond flour, or you can use regular flour, your choice. I think that was 5. And let's try, we'll do 7. There we go. And we're going to mix up a couple of eggs. You can use large or extra large in this recipe. And we'll just beat them lightly. There we go. Just give them a little togetherness in a bowl. Okay. And let's add, while those are sitting there, okay, we're going to add a little salt. And this is kosher salt. And I have the chunky salt. What I'm going to do is take about a teaspoon of it, just roughly a teaspoon, and put it in with my flour and some pepper. And you can add as much pepper. We're going to make them savory today, so I'm going to add a bunch of pepper to it. It does call for something like a 1/4 teaspoon or 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. And freshly ground pepper. So we have the almond flour and salt and pepper and a teaspoon of baking soda. So I'm going to dry my little teaspoon off, just to make sure we measure properly, because we're baking. We're actually making the pancakes on the range, so we'll have that. And I want to mix things up thoroughly, so I'm using a whisk, because I find that mixing things that are dry ingredients with a whisk is very efficient. It distributes all the ingredients quite evenly. And of course we will, let's see, okay, we will do the onions and the eggs in this bowl. We'll mix it in. Actually, I'm going to use the whisk. And mix the onions and the zucchini and the eggs all together. So we have a nice juicy batch in here. And then we're going to take the two and combine them. Here we go. Actually, I'm going to pour from the big bowl, which is backwards, but we're doing it. Okay, and I'm going to add my dry ingredients into my nice juicy eggs and zucchini and onions. And of course you want to make a batter, so you want this to get to the consistency of a pancake batter. And so it gives you a little bit of leeway as far as how thick or how thin it is. And it's getting quite thick now, so I think we have enough in there. And if you find that your batter is a little too thick, with this recipe I would just add some filtered water. But I think we're going to have some really nice zucchini pancakes here. There we go. I'm going to add just a drop of filtered water. I don't think that was even a tablespoonful. There we go. I want it to be a little bit more liquidy. There we go. And you know how pancake batter will kind of sit up? Well, this is going to do that too. Because, of course, the zucchini will hold it up. And I'm going to turn my pan on and add a bit of both butter and olive oil. Like a half a teaspoon of butter or a teaspoon of butter. And of course I keep my butter out so it's easy to use. And I'm going to be using avocado oil. So I'll have just a drop of the avocado oil, about a capful, which is about a teaspoon. And let the two oils, the butter and the oil, mix together and warm up. And in order to tell, it's interesting, some recipes tell you to let the oil smoke. I don't want my oil to smoke, but the best way to tell if something's ready to put a pancake batter in, and this includes making regular pancakes minus the vegetables or anything. If you're making buttermilk pancakes or something like that, just take a drop of water, and if it hits the pan and sizzles and bubbles up, it's ready. So we'll let the pan heat up for just a sec. And there we go. And you can also use a griddle, if you like, for these pancakes. I'm just using a 10-inch skillet. I'm using a 10-inch skillet so that my pancakes will come out little. We're not going to make biggies with these today. And I'm going to take my tablespoon and use that as a measure for the pancakes. So I can hear it starting to sizzle. I think we're ready. Let's see. Nope, not quite. The butter's bubbling and the oil. So I'm going to get it a little bit hotter and I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to turn it down to where it's actually going to be great for baking our pancakes. And I'm going to get another plate out right now. And put my oven on warm. I'm going to put my oven on warm because we'll do the salmon after we do the pancakes. So the pancakes are ready to serve as a vegetable or as a side with the salmon. So here we have some beautiful little salmon fillets that I've kept under wrap. And we'll season those up in just a minute because I think it's about ready. Let's go over to the pancake pan and see how that's working. Okay, yep. So I got, as I said, about a tablespoon. So I think you can see how pretty those little guys are. That's beautiful. Yep. So we have our plate that's ready. And to do my salmon, one of my favorite ways to do salmon, while our pancakes cook, whoops, wrong camera, hello. A techie I'm not, a cook I am. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of granulated garlic and just a sprinkle. And you know, if you like, you can put some garlic into the zucchini pancakes, but I prefer to do them without that. Just the onion, the zucchini, baking powder, and a little salt and pepper. So now I'm going to use my garlic on my salmon and grab out another pan. And put a wee bit of the butter in there. And let that start to heat up. Actually, I'm going to put that one, I put a little bit of butter in the pan. We've got some garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper, and our little pancakes are just about ready to turn. And actually, you know what? I think I'll do something. I'm going to do something a little bit different with the salmon. This is kind of midstream, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some soy sauce and some Dijon mustard on the salmon. So I'm going to take the salt off because, as you know, soy sauce is salty. And we certainly don't need that much salt on a piece of fish. They've had enough salt when they're swimming. So here we go. I've got my soy sauce, and I'm going to get my Dijon mustard. And before I do all that, I'm going to take my spatula. Oh, I've got to let you see this. It's too pretty. Whoopee. There we go. As you can see, they look just like pancakes, which is what they are. However, they're a little more special because of the zucchini and the onion. So we're going to take some soy sauce. Whoop, there we go. It's about a tablespoon. And some of my favorite Dijon mustard, and about a teaspoon of that. Now maybe a little more. Oops, we may have to open, oh, there we go. We might have to open the other Dijon mustard, but for now that'll work. And I'm going to mix that up. And you could do something like wasabi if you like, but I'm just going to use the Dijon right now. And sometimes I take this mixture and I do marinate for a while, but this morning we're just going to pour it over and let it sit on top for a couple of minutes while we focus on the pancakes, which are sizzling. Can everybody see that? There we go. Just taking a little bit of the Dijon combined with soy sauce. That's all you need. Okay. And my butter is beginning to sizzle over here. And so we know that that's almost ready to put in the salmon. And in the meantime, oh, our pancakes are wonderful. We're going to just take those out and turn it down and do another little batch. So we'll take our salmon over now and carefully put that into the butter. And I'm going to put it in, whoop, season side down. That is it that I can get it to turn over. Yeah. look over there and see how all of that looks together. What I've done is I put the seasoned side of the salmon in the pan. There's our next batch of pancakes. And see if we can go over here. We've got the salmon now cooking in there with the seasoned side down, the side that I poured it on. Unless you've marinated, it doesn't really matter. But in the meantime, I'm going to get my lemon ready. I'm going to cut up some lemon wedges to go with the salmon. There we go. So we have those ready when the salmon comes off, because it doesn't take a long time for all this to cook, obviously. Let's get my spatula. One of the easiest ways to learn how to do the fish, if it's a fillet like this that doesn't have the skin on either side, is watch it as it's cooking, as it's sauteing in there, and you can see how it begins to cook through. When it gets to about halfway, that's when you turn it over. So we're going to wait until we get that, and then we'll take some more of our wonderful sauce and turn it over. And I turned, my heat depends on your oven. It's going to depend on your oven or your range, how much heat you get. There we go. Just about there with the salmon, so what I'm going to do is turn it over because I don't want it to cook, I don't want it well done, I want it to cook through, but very, very lightly. And then we're going to get our avocado ready to add as a beautiful garnish. I'm going to take my sauce as I turn over the fillets. Okay, and I'm just going to give them a little bit more of the sauce on this side. I'll give you a little view of how pretty that looks. There's our sizzling salmon, which will be ready shortly. And I'm going to, on my range, I'm going to turn it down a little bit lower. And there we have our second batch of zucchini pancakes. And we're going to let those finish. I turned both of them down because my range stays really, really hot, and so do these pans. So we'll get our plate ready. In the meantime, I'm going to take my avocado and cut a couple of nice slices and put them on the plate. So we get the plate ready. if it's perfectly wonderfully ripe, it should peel right off. There we go. And just slice up that avocado and put it on the plate and get it ready for everything else to join up. Sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on the avocado, or lime if you like. All right. Our salmon is done. And there we have our finished plate. We have the avocado, we have our pancakes. Now, what you can do with the pancakes is, since these are more in the savory arena, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice on those, as well as over my salmon, minus the pit. Thank you. A little bit of lemon juice. And another thing you can do if you're serving the pancakes solo, as in by themselves, even for breakfast, what I have done, I will show you just a moment. Let me take my salmon off the heat. And we can do zucchini pancakes for breakfast. And I'll show you what works really well with them. I'll be right back, because I just remembered where I put it. We have fig preserves, which may sound a little bit different, and that's great. So what I'm going to do is take my zucchini pancakes all by themselves, take a little bit of the fig preserves, and just put it on top. No syrup. You don't need syrup. We've got the lemon and the fig preserves, which make an absolutely delicious brunch or breakfast. So if you're doing July 4th and you're cooking up a storm on Sundays and you want to have a lovely brunch or breakfast on Sunday, the zucchini pancakes would be perfect. And you serve that along with, you can always add something like sausage or bacon, or if you want to keep it in the vegetarian area, just serve the pancakes this way. So we've got our two different ways. Actually, I'm going to go to the other camera so you can see these more clearly, because they're really pretty. We've got zucchini pancakes served up with avocado, and then we've got them with the sweet version, which would be with the fig preserves. Or you could use peach preserves. I actually had them this week because, of course, we play with them and see if we can get them to work before we do this. And I did have them with some peach preserves on top, but I happen to love figs, so we're going to try them with the figs this time. And they're usually yum. They're different. And they are savory, but the peach is like a sweet and savory combination. And the fig is the same. So you'll have to excuse me while I have another bite. Dr. Jacqueline, do you think we can share this on USA Global TV?
I don't think so, Chef, but we do have a question from someone. Let me pull up the question and then you can comment. The question is from Karen. Good afternoon. Can you also use yellow squash or butternut? Some people are not zucchini lovers.
Well, if you're not a zucchini lover, I would say absolutely yes. The zucchini, the yellow squash is almost the same consistency as the zucchini. The only thing you have to watch out for are I think the yellow squash has larger seeds in it. So you might want to seed it first before you grate it. But absolutely, why not? Let's experiment. I'm all up for that. I try different things all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a little bite of the teeny end of the salmon here, because one of the best marinades I have ever found for fish, even salmon, because salmon is quite flavorful on its own, is that combination of soy sauce and Dijon mustard. It's absolutely delicious. Combined with the pancakes, ooh, wow. Mm-hmm. It's definitely got some zing, but it's a soft zing, and then your avocado will have the lemon on it, or just any way you like it, just plain. And actually with the pancakes, you could use lime juice as well as lemon juice. It's just a little different flavoring, and they're absolutely marvelous, and you saw how easy it is to make them. So does that answer your question, Miss Karen? Thank you for being with us. I hope we have some other guests on there, and all across the land on USA Global TV with Dr. JACALYN and myself.
Thank you so much, Chef. Would you like to give people your contact information and show them your book and your whisk and your apron and anything else they can purchase from you?
The book is very purchasable on Amazon. This is Yes You Can Eat Well and Eat Right. And this is a recipe that I would be happy to give to people if you contact me either by text or by email at by text to 970-618-7607. That's 970-618-7607. And you can text me, just put Ricky's Kitch in the text so I know what it's about. Or you can email me at ricky@rickiskitchen.net. It's RICKISKITCHEN.net. And I'd be happy to, I'm going to post the recipe on my Patreon page, and you'll find a connection there on the website. You can also get me at Ricki@RickiMcKenna.com. So lots of ways to reach me, so please do reach out with your questions and your comments, and I'm happy to send the recipe to you. So any more questions or comments, I do have my apron, which is available on the website. And again, that's rickiskitchen.net. Didn't have any helpers this morning, so here's my apron. Yaha. And you know what I love about it? It's big. And the thing about a big apron is it helps you protect whatever you're wearing, whether it's a chef coat or whether it's a cocktail dress and you're preparing things for your friends. And they can have an apron that absolutely covers completely and really protects their clothing. And it's also easy to wash and take care of. There's also a cup. I can only show you this side today because, well, I can show you, it does say rickiskitchen.net, and it's got my lipstick on the other side. So cheers. Coffee tastes better in a rickiskitchen.net mug with Take Whisks on it. So, any other questions or comments? Thank you very much, Dr. JACALYN. As I said, available on Amazon if you look for Yes You Can Eat Well and Eat Right. It's the only one there, and it's 5 stars, and please help yourself to a copy. There's both, by the way, on Amazon, there's both an ebook and the paperback. And the advantage to the paperback is that it has blank pages in it after each of the recipes where you can write your comments on the recipes, change the recipe to suit your perfectly, your different likes. If you like one spice over another and you're using it, put it in there so you have your recipe as well. It's meant for people to interpret the recipes in their own way, as it's an intuitive kind of cooking, which is, for me, it's a lot of fun. It lets me put in things that I really love, so I put in a little more of those things rather than something that somebody else loves better. So does that answer any questions for everybody? It's there on Amazon. That's really all I have to say. I'm looking forward to finishing up these pancakes with the salmon, or even by themselves, and they're great with coffee if you want to enjoy your coffee with it, or perhaps this would be great with a nice glass of crisp Pinot Grigio, or even a Viognier, a nice chilled Viognier, a white. Let's see, what else? That's about it, really. Thank you so much for being here in Ricky's Kitchen and on USA Global TV's United Kitchens. Come back and join us.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend, and a great dish that you look like you whipped up there. I wish I could have some, but just send it my way.
I will send it your way. You're going to get the recipe, of course. But what I wanted to do is to wish everybody a very, very safe, healthy, and happy weekend. Happy 4th. Enjoy Independence Day. And also help me celebrate my granddaughter. My number one granddaughter's birthday is July 4th, and my son is July 3rd. So this is a super weekend for me to celebrate my family and to celebrate good health. Thank the Lord we all have our good health, and I wish the same for all of you.
Thank you very much, Chef. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now. Thank you, everyone, for watching, for listening, for commenting, whether it's now or later. We really do appreciate it. And wherever you are in the world, whether you celebrate the 4th of July, we're just happy that you are tuning in and grateful for the fact that you are following us. Please help spread the word. We launched this platform January the 10th, and we're growing in leaps and bounds. And we would love to have you join us for as many shows as you can. If you're going to watch something, why not watch something that's educational, inspirational, and full of hope, as opposed to other network channels that are doom and gloom. We like to uplift with positive energy, positive affirmations, and share key learnings that we have had, whether it's myself, my co-hosts, or our guests. We are all about lifting up one another. So please do join us. Go over to our YouTube channel, which is USA Global TV, and subscribe. You'll see there on the channel that there are playlists, and the shows are all broken into playlists. So we have approximately 26 shows a week, with more coming, and each show has its own playlist, so it's easy for you to find. And if you'd like to be a guest on any of our shows, please do go to our website, usaglobaltv.com. Book your session. Okay, that's all for now. We're going to play a sponsorship, and then we'll be back with the listening mentor. So please do take a look at this, and I thank you again.